Welcome to Daddy's Money Garage. We have been preparing the junkyard jet to go to the track, and as of right now, she is 100% ready. There were a couple of upgrades and modifications that we had to make in order to make it legal for the No Name Nationals at the end of this month. And we have a few call-outs that we are going to respond to as well in this video, so stick around. First, I have worked for like a week straight along with Sabrina's dad to make the modifications that we had to make to it. So I'm going to walk through that first. When we originally were getting the car ready to go to No Name last year, we had to get the windows securely held up so that, you know, they just, can you race with the windows down?
You're not supposed to.
But can you?
I'm sure that depends on where you're at.
We did it anyway, and you can see here, oh wait, I never explained what the old system was. So last year when we were securing the windows, we used some strips of leather that we got at Hobby Lobby and some snaps and little caps and rings around it. It looked really good, and we put them together in the Hobby Lobby parking lot because it was going to the track like the next day.
It was that night. We were planning to take it that night, and then it got rained out.
Yeah. And it worked until the leather stretched under the weight of the windows. Snaps that we put into the door would just pop off, and the windows would just randomly fall down. One window was held up by a rubber mallet and 2 pieces of wood, so that's not race legal, I'm pretty sure. Last week, John went to the junkyard and pulled out some seat belts out of what?
Church van. It had 15 seat belts in there, probably more actually. It was a long one.
Does that mean that like we're blessed now?
They're kosher.
How I originally envisioned this was that we get some seat belts and buckles and put the buckles on the bottom of the door and then pull the seat belts, which would be bolted to the window glass itself, and click it in, and being able to tighten the belt and hold the window up and not have to worry much about unclipping the buckle. Problem is the weight of the window would constantly just pull the window back down anyway, so there wasn't enough tension. So what I did was I did use the seat belts, and it works properly. It will hold the window up. But this is much more secure. It's just a wing nut, and it's got just enough room for you to click this thing on.
Is this wing nut named Pat?
It can be. You just secure the wing nut, and then it could still fall out, I guess. I guess I'm gonna have to fix that now.
What the?
What did I do?
What did you do?
Oh, I broke the belt. It's okay, there's tons more belt. I'll just redo that.
Yeah, it's a good thing I got all of it.
It's not a big deal. The other ones are way more secure because they have like hardened pieces around where. That was the first one I did, and the other 3 are way stronger.
I hope so.
I'll just take that home and cut one the same length and do it properly.
Quality demonstration, that's funny.
Oh, wait, hold on. There's something in the back seat that we didn't fucking add. I don't remember installing a homeless person.
Well, I heard the circus was in town, so I had to catch the funniest ride around.
I forgot what your name is. I don't think anybody else remembers your name either.
Yeah, you know, it happens. I've been gone for a while.
What's your name?
My name, yeah.
You know what we never fixed? This busted door handle that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Get out of the car. Is that my helmet?
It just might be your helmet.
Garrett's back.
I've never been really gone.
Where have you been?
Around.
That's it?
Around.
You owe these people an explanation.
I do owe them an explanation. Conflict of time, and the 240 is over there now.
You're still driving that fucking thing?
You leave my dumpster fire alone.
This was not planned. This actually broke.
Just broke. It just broke.
It's okay.
It was working
I know.
just fine.
Yeah, I know. Here's the thing. All right, I dropped the window, and that just proves it would not. This belt specifically, because I didn't burn the edges, would not have held up the stress. So it's frayed and split. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back and get another piece of belt and properly put a hole in it, seal the end, and that won't happen again because the other 3 are like that. I added door handles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and by door handles I mean I went and got 5-inch long
That works.
bolts. It works just fine. Don't worry about it.
It'll work just fine until the sun gets it and you go to pull on it and it leaves a nice, cute little burn.
That's actually already happened to me.
See?
That happens to me every time I drive my Cadillac because it's a black car covered in chrome.
Last year at the No Name Nationals, this was not required, but because the rules have changed and probably been honestly updated for the better, if you're running slicks or drag radials, no matter what transmission you have to run a drive shaft loop, and that's under there. John, do you think you can get under there? It's up here.
It's I see where it is.
You know, there's a drive shaft loop here.
I see rim evidence.
To get that drive shaft loop installed, I had to drop the exhaust to get bolts into the car to put under the seat. During that whole process, when I was taking the exhaust loose from the collectors, both gaskets fell out completely roasted. So that's where most of our exhaust leak was. So if you ever heard this car run before, it would always it sounded really, really bad.
It sounded like a 6.4 with a missing glow plug.
It sounds like the Charger when it's running. Because
Yeah?
the studs aren't in the manifolds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it had a massive exhaust leak. That's been mostly fixed. There's still a leak at the headers themselves.
Which are trash.
But next year, those pieces of trash are getting replaced with like Doug's or something good. Major safety upgrade number 1. Number 2, had to have a working master kill switch. Most drag racing people that write rules, is that a thing? What would you call that?
Sanctioning bodies?
Most sanctioning bodies, that's the word. They have a rule that if your fuel cell or your battery is in the trunk, then you have to have a master kill switch that kills power to the ignition and fuel and everything in the car. They have to be able to run up to this switch, flip it, and kill everything on the car. And if you heard the fuel pump kick on, that actually works now. Because previously, it was just connected to the negative side of the battery, which basically just made it a battery cutoff.
Which meant the car was still hot.
Yeah, it would still, if you crashed it, if you flipped that switch, it would keep running.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, dead short's not, yeah.
The thing is, carburetors work even when they're upside down, so that's 100% necessary. You have to kill the ignition.
And the ignition system will work when it's not properly grounded. It just won't work good.
Most people, when they're wiring that switch up, what they'll do is they'll run it off of the positive side of the battery or the alternator or whatever makes it work. Since we wire this to ground, you know, it's better just to explain how it's wired, because it's wired how most people would not do it, but it still works and it's totally safe. There used to be a power point right here. It was just a little point for, you know, positive connection if you wanted to. I don't know what it was actually there for, but
we
it
were
was
using
there.
it to run all of our power off of.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. It was basically
A power block.
everything from the starter for the charging system ran to this point, ran to the distribution box, and back to the battery. But that has been replaced with this Cole-Hersey relay, and this side is constant power to this. But this wire runs to that kill switch in the back, and if you flip that, it kills this relay, flips it off, and this side is the power that runs to the distribution box and is dispersed throughout the car, inside the car. So if you kill power to that, everything dies.
As it should.
And
As
it
it
works
should.
it works perfectly fine. Did a little bit of tuning to it. I reset everything on the carburetor and changed the accelerator pump cams from the pink cam to the red cam, because right when you would give it gas, it would run lean, and the red cam gives it more of a shot, more aggressive shot right off the line. That seems to have fixed most of it, but it probably needs more.
Less thermobog, more go.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, right, with Holley carburetors, and this is exclusive to Holley carburetors, how their accelerator pump works is that you have a cam on the throttle side and the secondary side if you have a double pumper, and the cam controls, you know, the aggressiveness of the shot. You also have a set of squirters inside of the carburetor, which, you know, are easily visible, but this air cleaner is like rusted on, so I'm not doing it right now. It's a little tiny squirter that and they all have different size holes. That hole does not control how much fuel gets shot through the engine. That controls how long the pump shot actually lasts. So if you want more fuel to be shot through the system, change the pump cam. If you want the shot to last longer or shorter, you change the squirter. I've changed both. Seems to work. Needs more tuning.
But it feels happier.
it feels a lot better. Like, it responds a lot better. It used to just run lean and then backfire and then go, but now it's pretty smooth.
Oh, so it's like the old 80s cartoons.
Yeah. Also made one gigantic necessary modification. You ever heard of MAP oxygen gas? We took some of that to that shifter down there.
It was not thick thigh approved. Let me tell you that. It was not.
It's now from a 90 degree to like a 70 degree angle. And it actually looks pretty good.
Quick myth.
The reason that needed to happen was because in the race with Slaghammer last year, and pretty much every time I drive the car, going from first to second
Was almost impossible.
almost impossible. It would put the shifter like in your knee. So during the race last year, I went straight from first to fourth, and it still made an 844. And
That's actually really impressive for dropping down that high like that and still going.
Yeah, I just rode it through. So I wasn't going to save it. I was like, oh, whatever. Just ride it through. And it still said an 844. I have kicked myself in the ass every time since then because I wonder what the car would have done if it actually ran through all its gears. And I never wanted that to happen again. So we bent the shifter. Now it doesn't hit anything. Now you can positively feel every gear it's going into.
So now the only thing we have to make sure this year at No Name, I don't know if you guys remember this, the car went awry during a burnout competition, which tweaked the front end to the point to where we couldn't run it.
I have a fix for the burnout competition too.
Do an actual burnout?
No.
No half moons.
No. I have a fix to avoid damage during the burnout competition. We're just not doing it.
Well,
During that whole thing, I swear to God, I thought that they were spinning. I'm sitting there having a ball, and then I watched the footage after. I'm like, wait a minute, no, we just broke the car.
Yeah, when you half mooned it, you could see it was just not happy.
It lifted that wheel.
Yeah, and then that part down there was just like.
It blew both ball joints, blew out the idler arm bushing, and lifted that wheel.
Yeah.
I call that a success.
Was it though?
No.
Was it?
It was not. It was failure. But nobody ever accused us of being professionals.
I think now we reached the point. Let's fire it up. Let's show them how it's running. This is like proof of life, because I don't think that the car is. Yeah, because I don't think the car has been run on the channel like maybe once this year.
We've been working on it.
Oh, this still doesn't work. I keep on trying to open.
Did all that work for all that stuff? You still can't
just
fix a rod.
You know, leave it alone.
Amazing.
Didn't even pump it. Why would you?
Did you just turn it off?
Yeah, he just turned it off. I didn't even pump it. It's not even warm.
Like, hello, Papa. Is it time for us to go? Go, my child. Go reach the souls of the unexpected people.
Sounds a lot better.
Sounds a lot better. I'll wrap it up.
Seems happy.
See, it does work. We did it properly. It actually works.
Yay.
Oh yeah, there's also one more big thing. The windshield's fixed. It's beautiful. It's so weird driving this thing and not having a giant crack in your face.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we respond to call-outs. We have been called out this year by technician Troy, who has left his truck over there for me to sabotage while he's in Indianapolis visiting John Force and stuff.
Yeah, but that really wouldn't be smart because our car lives here.
You know, you got to deal with the consequences of our actions. Yes, Technician Troy, we accept. Please don't sabotage our car. Nick the Van Man 90 wants to race my Fury. For those of you who don't know about my Fury, I got a 65 Plymouth Fury with a 318 poly head with a factory 294 rear gear, and the engine's mildly built, nothing done to the transmission. He wants to race his mildly, did you say mildly built van? Or he's done a lot.
It's a hopped up
it's pretty hot.
It's a hopped up 305 powered Astro. So it's a hopped up Astro, but I wouldn't call it mildly built.
Okay, fair enough. He wants to race the Fury against his van, and Yeah, I'm down. It'll be a slow race, man, because that Fury is not fast. It's not. If you beat the Fury, though, you're racing the Jet. That's fair.
I was gonna make it interesting. I was about to be like, I'll bring the 240.
That thing won't fucking make it there.
I am sorry I've been gone for so long. I am sorry.
You
Send
should
your
be.
emails to Garrett so he can email you an apology.
I really will. If you email me an apology, I will write you the most kindest.
Wait, they have to apologize to you?
No. I will reply to them. No, if they email me saying they want an apology, I'll write back to them.
Okay. If you want an apology from Garrett, heartfelt, written in calligraphy, email below.
Written in wingdings.
With the wrong dog.
It'll either be in calligraphy or wingdings.
Yes.
Whichever one. Like and subscribe, do all that stuff. Catch you in the next one.
Bye.